Hi folks, it's Matthew. I am back with another video with Euro Truck Simulator 2. So in this video, I am on my second most oldest profile, which I don't play that much of, but this is actually on the Eastern Express map, and this is the Iveco Hi-way 2013 Truck of the Year, and I don't do much. I haven't really driven this truck that much. As you know, more likely is me to do. More likely, I end up doing a Volvo or Scania or whatever. Haven't done, yeah. But as I say, I haven't done the Iveco truck that much, so as you can see, this job is going from here to, I think it's a Budapest, but I wasn't paying much attention. But as you can tell, this has actually different sounds to the standard one. This because this is a sound mod for the Iveco Stralis Hi-way, and basically, it doesn't actually give an open pipe sound like most of these sound mods do. It basically just makes the sound more realistic. So this job's going from here in Rostock all the way down to Budapest. And as you can see, Eastern Express adds all down here, down here, down here, over here, 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 up here, 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 and all the way up there. And if you get far enough north, it's snowy textures instead of the normal ones, which is pretty nice. So this job is some ketchup, so 25 tons of it, so probably it's a lot of ketchup, and this truck only has a 560 horsepower engine, so should be interesting. But I really like this sound mod for this truck, because as I say, it's not actually an open pipe sound mod. It actually just makes the sound more realistic and loud, basically. But as you know, my last video that I recorded was one just playing the radio and me not talking, and generally now I'm going to try and get 2 videos out every week, and one video will be that for now, and one where I try and talk. So if I can't get 2 done, obviously I should at least get 1 done that may not have commentary in it, but it depends really, and that's what I'm going to try and do now. So it's a balance. Works for me a bit better, less time frame, because I do have limited time frames when I can record and whatever, so it's a help for me not having to talk a bit, so I have more frame when I can record. But so anyway, this is, as I said, this is the Iveco Stralis Hi-way with the realistic sound mod, which you can get from either ETS2downloads.com or ETS2LT.com. But actually, the link for ETS2.LT is actually ETS2.IT, but the site's called LT. So, as I said, this is the Eastern Express map, and no other map mods at the moment. You can, I don't know if you can run promods with this map. I imagine you could, but I don't know if it would work terribly well. I haven't actually tried it, but this is actually a very nice map, and I really need to play it more, as it's actually a really nice map, and this truck actually sounds really nice. If I'm honest, the only reason I put sound mods on the Scania R and Streamline or whatever is because just because the standard sound for it is really not that great. but actually the sound mod for the Streamline sounds a bit less like a sports car or whatever. It actually sounds a bit more like a truck. But the one for the Scania R just literally makes the exhaust loud and makes it sound like a supercharged, I don't know, Ford Mustang or whatever, so it's not exactly realistic, but it sounds good and it gives it a very nice horn. But the sound mod does not give it a new horn, because you do have the air horn, so that's good. So if you're wondering what the radio station is, it's RBN. This is an LRN. I did want to play an old podcast of a radio. No, let me start again. I did want to play a radio podcast of someone called Mark Stevens, who does his show called Mark Stevens on LRN, Liberty Radio Network, every Saturday night from 4 PM EST to 7 PM EST, and I did want to play that, but last time I tried to do that, for some reason whenever I stopped the recording, my PC just crashed, so I will try and play again at some point, but no guarantees.
But what if you could turn it around, $1 at a time, and make your money worth more than it is now? How? By acquiring gold before your paper money is totally worthless. But how can you afford gold at today's prices? I'm buying it 1 gram at a time, and this is so important because gold is the future. For as little as $65, you can begin trading your almost worthless currency for something real, something you can hold. Carat bars, which keep their value, can be stored securely, and are easily accessible.
Anyway, so now I'm basically recording with new memory, I now have 12 gig of memory instead of 6, because my PC originally had 6. It was one 4 gig stick and one 2 gig stick. I took the 2 gig stick out, replaced it with an 8 gig, a HyperX 600 megahertz, whatever you call it, 8 gigabyte DDR3 stick, and it added it up to 12 gig of RAM, which helps with my performance and FPS a little bit. It mainly helps when I do streams. It keeps the FPS a bit more stable, though it doesn't necessarily help with dropping frames, because to be fair with my internet, admittedly the PC doesn't have as good power as it could do. If my machine had better power, it wouldn't drop frames like it does. It drops frames when it runs out of power, and that's sometimes be CPU or memory power or VRAM, which VRAM is a graphics card. And if you have a low-end car like me, then even if you overclock it, you still have a limited amount of VRAM to work with. So it's just how it is. But I also have now new earphones, which are these Philips earphones, which are a lot better than my old ones, and they're very good. Though I had to replace them because the rabbit, my pet, ate through the first lot, so I replaced it again. So yeah, and I overclocked, and I, as you know, updated the graphics card. So all of these upgrades, they have made some difference in, at least on this profile, with all the things that I have now. All these profiles and whatever, it actually significantly helps with the FPS or whatever, and all the rest of it. So all these upgrades have been worth it, I suppose. But, you know, hopefully the audio levels are alright. I've tried to sync the audio levels so you can hear me alright and you can hear the game and whatever, okay. I've tried as hard as I can. And I think I've got something that works, so I'm going to leave it at these levels. I'm going to listen back to it, and if the game seems too loud I'll turn it down, but it's going to vary from profile to profile, because obviously different trucks have different sound. I measures of how loud they are. So obviously out here it's quite loud. Well, I don't really drive from out here, but out here you actually get a lot better FPS. Get 30, which is pretty nice. That's only because it doesn't have to, it's just loading in the scenery ahead and not the dashboard. So, here we go, classic AI example, stupidity. And the thing about the AI is now, since the update's a lot better, but since with all these patches that have come along since the update, because they've been messing with the coding of the patch or whatever, they haven't changed the code of the AI to sort of match it. It's sort of confused it and made it do stupid things it used to, but at the same time actually makes it a lot better. So but I'm going to definitely try and do more videos of this truck and this map, because this sound mod, along with this map and profile, which I need to build up, not necessarily the money, but my level, I will definitely try and do this a lot more.
Because the rationale being used is that Cuba is, you know, the sanctions against Cuba have not worked, and so we're just going to go about this another way. In the meantime, they have sanctions that they're slapping on other countries. They're working to overthrow the government of Venezuela. So it's incongruent, I guess, is what I'm saying, unless there's some underlying motive for doing this. You know, I come back to the Organization of American States. Cuba's going to be participating in the Summer of the Americas that's coming up later on this year. I think that this is they're basically bringing Cuba into the hemisphere of the Americas. What do you think?
Oh, no question about it. Yeah, I have something on my website about that.
But if I can definitely get more videos out of this map and the Dutch map and all my profiles, then that'd be cool. Just generally a few more games like Train Sim and OMSI, but OMSI is going to be a bit harder to have to set it up before recording, which is a bit of a pain, but hopefully we should get some good videos out of that eventually. But definitely, if I'm gonna do OMSI 2, there's definitely a lot of vehicles which I'm going to have to delete and replace, because there's a lot of vehicles in my game which don't work properly because of the files and whatever are kind of broke. So I need to fix them before I do some more videos of it, and just generally fix up some of the maps which I've installed and whatever. So. the next fuel station I am definitely going to fill up, because I am quite low on fuel. But luckily there's only one just around the corner, so I'll try and remember to fill up there.
On these diaspora communities, which were being promoted by the State Department, and this to me looks like what they're doing with these foreigners that are coming in. They're being allowed to establish their own communities outside, which are pretty much not welcome in, because unless you actually fit in with their belief systems and their communitarian values.
Exactly like that, yeah.
You're not welcome in. They're going to have their value systems in the community, and unless you are part of that value system, and this dovetails perfectly with sustainable development agenda, the concept of sustainable communities.
Yeah, and then everything like what tribal wars do.
Well, that's
Yeah, and it's balkanization and a return to primitivism, tribalism. Because that's what happens when people are insecure, is that they congregate together in tribes. And, in urban areas, what that means is that, and we already have a pretty language of community. Yeah, community. And the State Department calls it diaspora community,
You do see on this developer console a lot of errors coming up, and I honestly think those errors are normal, because they just cause whatever else. They just cause problems with lag and whatever, but they all seem to come in whenever you go through a particular area of the map. So yeah, it happens no matter what state of a game you have or whatever.
Which is, also called Dash now, and ISIS was the first name they gave it. But now we hear, in fact, Jazzycat Monday was asked about this very thing. Let me play you a little clip. This is only a couple minutes long, and I'll get your comment about this.
Did you have any reaction to the news today that Lebanon started imposing visa restrictions for the first time? I mean, in their history of two countries to try, I guess, to limit the flood of refugees.
Yeah, I don't think the red in these fuel stations are normal, but I think it's honestly to do with bugs of the map and things like that.
For refugees fleeing the Syrian conflict.
You do not usually see it red like this if it can load in properly.
In the development criteria to ensure those feeling violence and persecution are able to cross into Lebanon. We will continue to strongly encourage the governments of the region to provide refuge and for refuge for asylum seekers in accordance with international principles. We remain very grateful to the governments of and the people of Lebanon, Turkey, Jordan, and Iraq for hosting more than 3 million refugees from Syria in total, and we recognize this is a tremendous challenge for their economies and public services.
Is there any additional aid? I know that the United States has been the prime donor of aid to the refugees, but is there any additional aid or any way that you can help? What about taking some of these refugees into the United States if they want to come here? It has to go to another country first.
So we've been at
Yeah, but just generally that's a bug in the map of it failing to load in things, so that will vary between system to system, whether your system can cope with the load-ins or whatever.
last week about
So
the United States and refugees received referrals of more than 10,000 Syrians for permanent resettlement from the UNHCR in 2014, and are receiving roughly 1,000 referrals of Syrians. The U.S. resettlement process takes some time. It takes between 18 and 24 months to complete security checks, medical screening, and in-person interviews. And because we've only begun to receive referrals in the past few months, we expect to look at as many as
The CIA was created in 1947 with the reorganization. After the war, the OSF became the CIA, and I think the CIA has been working against the interests of this country for all of these years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in this audience would disagree with you.
And who are they working with? The British, the City of London.
All right, let's pick it up there in hour 3. Government continues here on RBN Stimulus.
Financial uncertainty circling the globe due to job losses, decline in the housing market, the climate of corruption, bailout, currency rigging, and unfair competition. Many are ones who are turning to precious metals as the only hedge against the uncertainty of the future. With the U.S. House conducting hearings on proposals to confiscate workers' personal retirement accounts, including 401ks and IRAs, this is the time to secure your assets. Call Republic Trading Group today, 800-691-7890 before this happens, and find out how easy it is to convert your existing IRA, and in some instances your 401k plan, into real wealth now. Don't let the ravages of hyperinflation caused by the massive increase of fiat currency now flooding markets affect your retirement account. Call RTG at 800-691-7890 and experience the security and peace of mind that only real gold and silver can offer. That number again is 800-691-7890. Call now.
You're listening to Republic Broadcasting Network. Because you can handle the truth.
This is the Phil Schlafly Report. Mr. Schlafly is a constitutional attorney, popular speaker, and the author of 20 books, including the book Feminist Fantasies that reveals the feminist influence on the media, on college campuses, and writing in children's classrooms. Now here's the president of Eagle Forum, Phil Schlafly.
The issues of trade and globalization of our economy are often discussed during election years, but these discussions usually omit a very important part of the subject, the impact of free trade on marriage.
I have to say, Sunrise does look pretty nice in this game.
Has done tremendous damage to marriage, as I explained in my new book called The Killing of the American Family. For most of our history, the nuclear family, that is a married mother and father living in one household with their own children, was widespread and highly respected. Even if they started from humble backgrounds, men could expect to find well-paying jobs in manufacturing or other industries that would propel them into the middle class. The expectation of a job that paid enough to support a full-time homemaker was a lifestyle within reach of most Americans. That's no longer the case. Globalization helped kill the American dream and within the American community by pushing the United States into free trade agreements with poor countries in faraway corners of the world.
Jesus, that's quite fast. Oh, God, that was close.
The high U.S. border tax rate also encouraged
But anyway, I'm going to stop the video here.
for labor.
So I do hope you enjoyed that. Do make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and share the videos, and all that good stuff. But for now, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
And working